United States has long boasted its commitment to human rights and has been quick to point out what it sees as violations in other parts of the world. But what is happening inside its own borders? Do its people enjoy all the freedoms and rights they're promised? According to U.S.-based human rights watchdog Freedom House, America's democratic institutions have suffered erosion from flawed immigration policies and a broken healthcare system to socioeconomic inequalities. Problems in human rights within the U.S. are far more serious than what many have been led to believe. Today, we take a deep dive into some of these issues. Gun violence, a long-standing problem that's only getting worse. On August 3rd, 2019, 21-year-old Patrick Crusius drove 1,000 kilometers to a Walmart in El Paso, Texas. With a semi-automatic rifle, he randomly fired at crowds, killing 22 people and injuring 24 others. This was the 7th worst mass shooting in U.S. history.
It was crazy. There was bodies, people running out of the store. There was deceased bodies on the floor. It was horrendous.
In my opinion, I don't feel safe anymore. It's hard. I've never seen it so close, and we live in the borderland.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the only Latino in the United States that feels scared. I'm telling you, it could have been any one of us.
As tragic as it was, this incident was just the tip of the iceberg. 39,427. That was the number of gun-related deaths in 2019 in the U.S. There were 417 mass shootings that year, averaging more than one a day. During the first 46 weeks of 2019, there were 45 school shootings, and that was about one a week. Between 2008 and 2017, on average, one person was killed with a gun every 15 minutes. Americans make up 4% of the world's population, but own 46% of all guns. That means there are 120 guns for every 100 U.S. residents. The U.S. has as many gun shops as pharmacies. The secondhand gun market is huge. Regulations on firearm sales have many loopholes in terms of background checks, age limits, and eligibility. Why can't the U.S. implement a comprehensive gun control law? One reason is the right to bear arms. It was enshrined in the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, a major barrier to implementing strict gun laws. Another reason is the National Rifle Association. It's one of the biggest political forces in Washington, D.C., with 5 million members funding politicians and lobbying against gun control. Faced with one school shooting after another, the NRA says the answer is not fewer guns, but more. Its proposed solution, arming teachers and keeping children away from violent video games. In the 2016 election, the NRA spent $54 million supporting Republican candidates. Among the 535 members of Congress, 307, or nearly 60%, were backed by the NRA in their campaigns. The comfortable relationship between the NRA and American politicians put a roadblock in front of gun control efforts. When innocent young lives are lost, Washington can offer little more than thoughts and prayers. With no gun control legislation on the horizon, and no end in sight to gun violence, the newspaper USA Today says America has entered a new and disturbing era of mass shootings.